How's it going, everybody? I'm Brooks,
I'm Joe.
and this is another episode of Cantina Reviews Barside Chats.
And today, we are talking about the new Spider-Man game for the PS4.
Ooh,
A lot of hype.
a lot of
hype. And we're talking about whether it lives up to the hype.
Yes.
Based on, some first impressions.
Yes, so I got the game on the release day. Played it over the weekend. I think it's it says I'm 13% of the way through. It doesn't seem like it's a super long game. It honestly feels like Arkham Origins.
Oh, yeah.
It was shorter.
Yeah.
It was kind of just a filler game until I got to another flagship version.
Right.
And based on what I've heard and talked about with others, is that this game was kind of like an introduction to the universe.
Yeah.
And they want to make longer flagship Spider-Man games of this series.
Right.
But this was to see how well it would do, how it was received,
Yeah.
Mechanics-wise, what they can do, everything like that. And I really hope to keep going with it because, first impressions for me at least, it's one of the better games I've ever played.
Oh, yeah.
It is almost exactly like the Arkham series,
Yeah.
but just with Spider-Man. Somewhat same fighting mechanics, same type of, going after the, big bosses and stuff like that, like the criminals, everything like that. Open world type of map.
Right.
Perfect rendition of New York City.
Yeah.
Building streets, landmarks, everything. When you can't swing through Central Park because there's nothing to swing on to.
Right.
But yeah, just right off the bat, it's a great game.
Yeah.
And I hope they keep going with it. I know they have a DLC pass that you can get, and it's kind of like what Arkham Knight did.
Yeah.
Where if you got the season pass, it added a few story missions onto it.
Mm-hmm.
From what this one sounds like is every month until the next year or something. So for, I guess, 12 months or 12 things, 12 add-ons,
Right.
it's going to be story missions.
Oh, okay.
So they're literally adding on missions, whereas Batman, you'd get a new character or a new fighting arena or some story missions. This one, they said it's literally they're adding on pieces of the game every single month. So for me, that DLC is going to be worth it because I can already tell you it's going to be one of those games that I beat, and I'm depressed I beat it so fast.
That is exactly the feeling of beating Arkham City.
Exactly.
And
you have one mission left and you don't want to do it.
Right. And what's fun about these kind of games is it's the little stuff, the little unlockables, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When it's me personally, it's I was never that into open world games. Mm-hmm. And what always comes to mind is Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. And I would just get bored.
Yeah.
And but lately I've been playing Breath of the Wild. I got the Switch. And it's great. Mm-hmm. And then even the Arkham games at the time were the most open world I had gone in a very long time.
Right.
But it's because the game's so good and there's so much to do and there's so much to unlock. Mm-hmm. There's so many side quests and stuff like that that are fulfilling and worth it.
Right.
That it's just a good game.
Yeah, I feel it's also it's loosely guided.
Yeah.
To where you're still having to do the main missions to further along collectibles, side missions, side quests, upgrades, everything like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's open world, but it's guided open world.
Right.
But yeah, it's so good and it looks fantastic.
Yeah. And what
graphics are crazy.
What I find cool about it is you had mentioned the story elements and how they want they want to make more games in this universe. Mm-hmm. What I find cool about that is this game is its own universe. They're taking some liberties with the characters' origins and fitting their own take on Spider-Man, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like the Arkham series where it's we don't care if this connects to anything else.
Right.
It's its own universe. I'm not expecting us to explain anything in Marvel or anything in Spider-Man's story.
Right.
It's a Spider-Man game.
Right, we can go based off this game. And the thing is, there's been a whole bunch of Spider-Man games, and, the majority of them, I'd say, are just, movie adaptations. Mm-hmm. And, as far as, the web-swinging capabilities, they did a really good job in Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, the swing around. At that time, this was, it was, a huge deal. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But this is very easily being considered the best Spider-Man games since like the PlayStation one.
And I remember that one too. I remember when that one came out.
Right, and because like that one was a big deal. Because to be able to have that open quality to it. I mean, it wasn't open world, but in comparison to many other games.
Yeah, at the time where it's like you're playing level to level to level.
Right.
It's like you're swinging through like a city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's so good, and like it's driving some people to get PlayStations.
Well, that's the thing.
For that game.
I'm like so torn. Like I've been wanting to get the Switch for like a while, and my thing was there's not a lot of games for it. Because like for the longest time it was like Zelda, Mario Kart, and then they finally came out with Odyssey. But now they have Smash coming out. They have Metroid Prime 4, which is pretty cool. They have a Kirby game. They have the Pokemon Let's Go game coming out, which is a pretty big deal. And a whole bunch of other stuff. So like now I was like, okay, I'll finally get it. But then Spider-Man came out.
Yeah, one
and
game.
I was like, do I get the PS4 for Spider-Man?
Yeah, just for one game.
Right.
It's like the Switch, you named 7 games you'd get.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man, it's like, dude, honestly, like, I love it.
Yeah.
Because I know how much you and I love the Arkham series.
Right.
Like, I know how much you're going to love this.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those things where it's like, you will not regret getting the PS4 for it. Especially if, like it sounds like you're going to wait till, like, the Black Friday time frame.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, if you can get that thing for, like, $200, like...
Yeah, then it's like worth it, and then
especially if it's a bundle with it. Like,
you made a pretty good point when we were talking about this, because we've been talking about this for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, stop.
But you made a really good point that like we primarily play Xbox, and like if I play stuff online, I'm on Xbox. Halo, Overwatch, Fortnite, I'll play online on Xbox, and it's like you made a good point where it's like I have a PS4 now too. And it's like my campaign story-based games you'll get on PS4. And online, more central stuff you'll get for Xbox.
Right.
I feel like that's a good way to kind of split it up and make it worthwhile.
Yeah, well, especially because, like, I just, like, after seeing comparisons and stuff like that, it seems like just the graphics are way better on the PS4. So in a game like this, where you have this entire cityscape,
right,
where, like, after watching YouTube videos and everything like that, like, how in-depth they went with making the buildings where you can look in a window and it's a different room than the next one over.
Right.
Like you're looking into a room that like if you could break the glass, like you'd go in, like you'd be able to go into it.
Right.
So it's like in a game that's so graphics heavy, like you gotta have like a good console for graphics, good TV for graphics, because it's like then you can fully appreciate like all of it.
Well, that was like, I mean, obviously like part of it is money, but also they had a bit of a concern about releasing it on the Switch. Now, granted, I've been playing the Switch for about a week and a half now, and I'm really impressed with like the graphics for Zelda. But I don't know how the Spider-Man would have translated over to it.
Right. If it would have been able to be handled. Or
right.
Not. Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, after first impressions, like the game looks great, it plays great, and the story so far is starting off like really well.
Right.
And you can like see them setting up like Doc Ock and like Sinister Six, like you see it getting set up,
right?
And it's just cool to like play a Spider-Man game for the first time where it's like Arkham,
right? It's like
it's an all-encompassing universe.
It's universe, and I think that's definitely a cool way to do it.
Where like they all exist, you can literally fight all of them,
right? And while also having nods to like the comic stuff, like all the like unlockable suits and stuff. I mean, that's another thing that like again like a slam dunk. To do, which is something that the older games did, but then the movie adaptation games didn't do, because they had to be, true to the movie. You have the one suit, but like there's so many iterations of the Spider-Man suit to be able to change around and stuff is really fun.
Yeah, literally so many.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be interested to see if they. I know someone already said it's not, but if they released a Venom add-on, like at the end of October, because that's when the movie comes out,
right.
I imagine they will at some point, but that's what I'm saying is like there's so much in the Spider-Man universe that like it's going to be hard to not keep making these games but also making them new.
Right.
Like Batman, there's so many villains. Like they made 4 games.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, so many villains. They can make 4 games.
Right.
But then it's like you go over and it's like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, stuff like that. It's like how many like villains does our generation really know from them?
Right. They had like a couple major standout villains, and like, and more so like the villains would cross over.
Right.
They'd be more so like Marvel villains.
Exactly.
Where,
so
like,
you need a Marvel video game.
Yeah, I look at Spider-Man and Batman as kind of similar properties on either side.
Right.
Whereas they have all of these villains that are specific to them.
That we know about.
Right.
Like
which
off
is
the top of our heads.
Right. Which
yeah.
is like which have become staples in like comic book and pop culture.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like there's so many Spider-Man villains that have yet to even really be touched.
Yeah, exactly.
That you want to see.
Even you have the Sinister Six. That's only 6 of them.
Right.
There's so many more.
Well, even then, like they would change in and out all the time.
Exactly.
Of who was in the Sinister Six and whatnot. So there's a lot. And like, that's what I thought was cool about Homecoming. Like they used the Vulture, like a villain you wouldn't really expect them to use, and they took him and they updated him in a really cool way, and they made a good character out of it, which has me excited for the follow-ups.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, if they made Vulture like that, imagine what they make his mainstream villains.
Right.
Like,
well, yeah, and I think they might have Mysterio in the next one, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. People want Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And I would hope to see them more into the MCU rather than just doing a Spider-Verse without Spider-Man over at Sony. Because there were like rumors about and we talked about this on the Venom podcast, rumors about like a Kraven movie coming next, and it's like Kraven hunts Spider-Man.
Yeah, he doesn't hunt Spider-Man, Captain America, he doesn't do that. So yeah, it's like, that's what I'm saying, is like, Batman can be on his own, Spider-Man can be on his own, but I like that they can integrate them into it.
Yeah.
And it'd be cool to see if like Marvel decides to kind of just break a common knowledge or like a common understanding of this is Spider-Man's universe, this is the Avengers universe.
Right.
If they just brought the villains from Spider-Man into like kind of Marvel.
Well, you could do like I think it would be cool. I mean, like still keep like doing what they're doing. Like they might have Mysterio in the next one, but like Vulture's still alive and like stuff like that. They kind of build it up and eventually do a sort of team up Sinister Six movie. Yeah. I think that would be the way to do it in the MCU.
Right.
It's like do a couple Spider-Man movies and then not necessarily an Avengers movie, but do like a team up with a couple of the Avengers where he's fighting the Sinister Six. Yeah. Would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like if they like combine the universes, like they technically are. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, oh, Spider-Man's in the Avengers, and all of his 80 villains technically are in the same universe. Yeah. So yeah, I think it'd be cool if they just kind of make their own universe. You know what I mean? Where it's like Kraven the Hunter is a villain of everybody.
You're throwing universe around a lot. I'm getting lost.
Universe? If they made their... Well, no, it's kind of what I'm saying. Like, if they made their own MCU. Like,
let's call it the Spider-Verse.
Well, no, I'm saying if they brought the Spider-Verse into the MCU.
Yeah.
Like the one that they're trying to create now.
But they are kind of... Oh, like the other one. The Venom one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so I think they want to see how it does first, honestly.
Yeah, because that'd be cool.
I think if it does well, and because there's been it could be, because rumors have been going around since the beginning that Tom Holland's in Venom.
Exactly.
So it very well could be. And if that's the case, I'll take your Kraven movie, knowing that eventually... it's all going to combine itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would make it work. But if it's never going to combine with the MCU,
exactly,
and you're going to have all the main Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. There'd be no point.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think like a lot of that is up in the air until Venom's out, and we see if people like it or if that's the plan, and no one knows yet. We'll see.
But yeah, as far as the game goes. I would highly recommend it, especially because they're putting out continual DLC with plans to make more.
Right.
Since Arkham has stopped, this luckily has filled the void.
They take the mantle
Yeah.
of that kind of game, that kind of series.
Yep.
Which is exciting because, Arkham Asylum is amazing, but then they came out with Arkham City.
Yeah, exactly.
And pushed the envelope even more.
Yes, I'm pretty excited to see what happens with this.
Maybe we can go to Brooklyn. Maybe we can go to Queens.
Maybe we can go go to Jersey City.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's so well done,
Yeah.
like mirror wise of what it is.
Right.
And then it just has the addition of like Doctor Strange's whatever the hell that place is called.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cool Avengers Easter eggs.
Yeah, Wakanda Embassy and
yeah,
everything. Yeah, it's like it's a mirror image of actual Manhattan.
Yeah.
With the addition of like the Marvel stuff.
Universe, yeah.
So it's just cool, like where I'm kind of like, oh, they need me in Times Square, and I don't need the map.
Yeah.
It's like
it's like I know
location.
where this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's Central Park, so that's there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
that is cool. I feel like once I get it, I will literally just like spend so much time just going to my favorite Manhattan spots and just see it. I just want to see it. Yeah.
Like Laughing Man Coffee's there.
Right.
But yeah, like it was just like what really brought it was like where I was like, oh, this is actually it. Was like, you know that circle by Central Park,
Columbus Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I went there. And
yeah.
I was like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's pretty cool. That's what I want to do.
Like it's there. And what's it called? Fisk Enterprises, who's like the main boss, I guess, in this game now, is like the building that's there.
Right.
It's an actual building there in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool game, and I always like when they do that.
Yeah.
When it's like, because Batman's kind of like that, where it's like a Manhattan-ish type of thing.
Right.
So it's like it's just cool, like going through the city, like. There's alleyways and like stuff, like just very in depth.
Do the thugs like yell stuff at you when you swing by?
It's the bat.
It's the bat.
But there are people that just randomly shoot at you that are Fisk like people and they're mad.
Yeah.
So you're just swinging through the city and out of nowhere you get shot at. What's really cool that I love is like, so like in Batman when you'd be like gliding around,
right?
Like. You're gliding around, you're having fun, you're doing the dive, and you're coming back up, and you're just seeing how far you can go. Like, it's cool. Mm-hmm. But, like, when you start to swing in Spider-Man, they play the Marvel music
okay.
every time. And I cannot tell you how, like, immersive that is to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when you start swinging and the music starts, you're like, yeah! Like, it's just like a weird feeling you get.
Right.
Like, you start swinging around, the music starts, and you're like, yeah, and you're just swinging. Yeah. You're not going anywhere.
Right.
Like I'm just swinging around the city, but the music's playing, and I'm like, I'm doing stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Like, as much as like it's good that you were saying there's like going to be DLC and it's like going to keep continuing. Like, just there's a lot to offer of just swinging around the game.
Yeah.
And just enjoying what it
is. Well,
is.
the other thing too, it's like if you unlock this one skill, you can now do tricks on the upswings. So when you upswing and let go.
Yeah.
The integrated tricks.
Yeah.
I could do that for hours. Just swinging around, seeing how high I can get and how many tricks I can get in.
Well, then there's like the whole like there's like the selfie thing.
Yeah.
And like the snapshots and stuff like that, which they're playing into like social media and like all that kind of stuff too, making it fun. Like take your best selfies or like all that kind of stuff.
The photo mode in that game is crazy. But yeah, like a few of my other friends, they've done like the selfie stuff, like the one like because Freedom 1 is in the game.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like sunset, and he's hanging on the side of Freedom 1, and it's like a selfie.
Wow.
And it's just so like well done, and I was like, oh, that's so sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that game at night, like it looks so awesome. Mm-hmm. Like just like with the city and everything, like, you can take some like legit shots. Like that's one that I took just on top of like this like. Satellite dish.
Yeah.
And that's not even in photo mode, and I edited that one. That was in Freedom 1. But like...
Just send me that and I'll post it with the...
Well, and that's not even like...
Podcast.
The like photo mode in the game. There's an actual photo mode.
Yeah.
I didn't know, so I was just screenshotting stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I showed them. I was like, yeah, I had to edit this one because the lighting was weird. And they were like, what are you talking about? They're like, there's a photo mode in the game. I was like, really?
Huh.
But yeah, that's the one where he's on the side of the thing.
Oh, man.
Like, how awesome is that?
That looks awesome.
On the side of Freedom, on Empire State Building in the background. Like, that's crazy.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I think I'll end up getting a PS4 in November. Because I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, like it's one of those, and especially if they plan on pumping more out and doing this DLC, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not like you're not going to use it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to play that game.
And especially because, like, you know, we were talking about Uncharted. Like, that's one of my favorite series. Like,
Right.
you love Uncharted.
That and, like, the new God of War is, like, 10 out of 10 across the board.
Yeah, I've heard that's great, too. I'll probably get that on Black Friday when that goes on sale.
Right.
But, yeah, it's just, like, like, the PS4, like, it's to the point where, like, there's exclusives on both sides, but it's not like I'm not going to use it.
Right.
So, yeah, it was definitely worth it for me because I love this Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
And there's so much to do in it, too.
Yeah, and so, like, we would like to cover it more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do some playthrough videos of us just, like, playing around with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So look out for that.
Yeah. And then I'm sure we'll do one where we talk about the story, too.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's one of the greater Spider-Man stories.
Right. Yeah, people are really into it.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely keep an eye out. We'll have more of these come out, more gameplay videos.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, yeah. So once again, I'm Brooks.
I'm Joe.
And this has been another episode of Cantina Reviews Barside Chats.